Europa Expanded is a massive mod that easily adds hundreds of hours of gameplay to an already vast sandbox that is Europa Universalis IV. There is a ton of content for already existing nations like Prussia, England, etc., but there's also quite a bit of extra content in the shape of formable nations. I was told on good authority that the Rhineland is a good formable for LARPing over-engineered German efficiency, and I want to give it a try. I'll actually be playing the game today, so make sure that you like the video if you enjoy it because I suck at EU4, and I'm going to need some motivation. So here we go, you versus the guy she told you not to worry about. It looks roughly the same in size, but we're going to be able to get some pretty solid bonuses. So we're going to lock it in here, and we are going to immediately try to start working down some claims. That way we can push towards forming the Rhenish nation because Rhineland is very good. We will start off rivaling the people who we immediately would like to conquer, being Trier, Mainz, and then possibly like maybe a Württemberg or something like that. Some cool extra buttons here. Don't know how much of this I'm really going to show off, but Europa Expanded has a lot of new buttons. I actually think the most recent update is called the UI update. So taking advantage of that scripted GUI, and it looks very, very cool, very professional looking in my opinion. And here we go with our estates. I ended up giving up all of my land, 2 of these privileges, and I sold the rest for some money, also indebted to the burghers because we're going to need some money early on. So we have no crown land, but we're really small. Shouldn't be an issue. We'll be able to get it back up before too long. We'll focus on mill here early because both of our leaders are terrible, and he's particularly bad at mill and admin. We'll need admin, but we're going to need a lot more mill. That way we don't fall behind on tech. Kind of get our pick of the litter when it comes to friends. I think it would be smart to maybe go with like a Munster, though I think maybe Brunswick would be better. So let's go ahead and go with them. And let's pick up Berg as well, because they're probably going to want some land from the guys that we're going to be going to war with, and we might be able to use them as a punching bag. We have a 3-3-2-1 general here. I think that siege pip is going to be very useful, and that way we're going to have to just get rid of one of these guys, and that will put us at our force limit, and that will allow us to get started on our mission tree here. So let's go with the National Army here, giving us some maintenance and some garrison size, as well as a claim on all bordering Rhenish culture provinces, which is pretty useful. We could definitely use those. These guys are allied to Bohemia, which is no fun. These guys are allied to Hesse and Cologne, so it's going to be a little tough, but I think we can probably manage a war early enough. Trier is no... Oh my gosh, what in the world? Okay, so Bohemia is a PU under Austria. That means Trier is actually available to attack right now. They're allied to one person, and that is Mulhouse, and I think we can handle Mulhouse. So let's go on in there. I'm not going to promise anybody any land, so I think we're just going to have to go in and try to take it ourselves. I think we can manage that without too much hassle. Getting our stability up here is going to allow us to reinforce the von Wittelsbachs, which will give us some tax, which is nice, some legitimacy, which is nice, and lots of claims over here. We're certainly going to want to touch up those lands because we do have provinces that are not bordered, and we'd like to border them up, at least, you know, make it pretty. Come on in and get a little bit of stack wiping going on over here. Mulhouse wants out. I don't think it actually matters. I'll just go ahead and annex these guys, take all of their money, and life is good. Can yoink the dev, -2 overall, more dev in Heidelberg. I think that's probably the move. We've annexed one of our rivals. So let's go ahead and pick up a new one, I suppose. Baden is a good one. Let's go ahead and go with that. And it looks like Berg is wanting to get rid of us, so that's fine. Let's see if we can find another friend around them. Bohemia is very much not happy with their personal union, so maybe we'll see them breaking free. That'd be pretty cool. Well, the elector Palatine is dead. Long live the elector Palatine, I suppose. Lots more mill managen. I am very much okay with that. Core this land up. That will help out our economy quite a bit, and by that autonomy down, which will help out our economy that much more. I'm going to try to send in a scornful insult here to the British, mostly just on principle, but also I want to see if I can maybe snag a relationship with these guys. Would be a very good friend to have, especially if we can fish for that Burgundian inheritance. That would be very nice. They are in a war. They'll probably call us in, but that's okay. It makes it worth it if they want to be my friend. These guys are allied to Mainz. I think what I'm going to do is try to see if I can break off their relationship and then, you know, go to war with them, because we can beat them up if they're spread out, but if they're all lined up like this, it's going to be really tough. Let's re-up those burgher loans, pay off our very expensive 4% ones, kind of reshuffle our debt just a little bit. So I think this is the move here. I can actually call in a friend as Nassau as well, and I think we could probably wipe out Mainz's army and or Frankfurt, but I think a Cologne would be the first one, and then I'll let my friends dogpile on these guys. The issue is that I need to make sure that I occupy Mainz. I'll probably give Frankfurt to Nassau. That way I can kind of, you know, break off a free city, so it's kind of a double whammy, as well as keep them happy. I'll break off the alliance anyways, but I don't want to make sure, I want to make sure that I can call in my friends later on for land without getting burned by this. I think this is the move. We're going to go ahead, recall our diplomat here, and give it a shot. So in we go, and hopefully we can do some stacking wiping. And they are all kaput, so we can just turn our army maintenance way down, let my friends siege down some of the rest of it, and life is good. Mine's once out, I will separate piece them to take this province here. Lots of AE, but I'm going to need it eventually, and the money is going to be very useful for us because we are struggling here financially. I also lied. I probably will take Frankfurt as a subject for myself, or maybe I will just give them all of this. We'll see how much Nassau wants, because if I could kind of get them you know, to expand a lot and then maybe even get them coalition to break off alliance, that would be a really great way to kind of weaken them early. Meanwhile, we've got another mission to expand the state here, permanent claim on every province of the Rhenish culture, as well as some dev in our capital, which is very nice, as well as monthly autonomy change. And life is good with that. We've got more claims to worry about, and we are going to have to work for it because the HRE is just, you know, it's the HRE. I lied. I'm just going to take their money. I really need the money. I really need the money. We are so much in debt, and it's not slowing down, so we're gonna have to take the money. Well, speaking of money, how about some professionalism for some money? Sounds good to me. Let's go ahead and full annex Cologne, take as much money as possible. We will get 24 ducats. Ooh, that's a lot of AE. Yeah, hopefully we don't get a coalition. We'll see how things go with that. We do have friends in high places, so hopefully we can avoid that coalition. Hey, we can ally Poland. I definitely don't think a coalition will attack now. Next rival here, let's go with somebody else who we can attack fairly soon. We have an heir, Philip Wilhelm. I don't think our coalition is going to get any bigger, and I don't think it's going to attack because we've got Burgundy as well as Poland on our side. I think we're going to be totally fine. I am going to need to attack these guys eventually, so I'm going to go ahead and break off this alliance. Hopefully it won't be something that I regret. They also released Paderborn as a free city or an archbishopric because of a demand for unlawful territory, and Paderborn kind of has a weird shape to it when you look at it, like especially kind of next to Westfalen. I don't know. Maybe I'm just seeing things. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Look at that. We are finally in the green, baby. Our economy is flourishing. 25 dev in one war. That's a pretty good gain for us. You have an event that's pending here, and I believe if we go one more month, look at that, we'll be able to get our first one here. Probably going to go with strengthen noble privileges. It's generally the best one to get that extra manpower, though I think you can probably argue that maybe some of these other ones would be better. The favor growth is nice. Advisor cost is always good, but yeah, strength and noble privileges, manpower is just so good. You can't really go wrong with it. Though at this point, maybe the tax would be better, as weird as that might sound. Let's go with the tax, kind of keep our economy afloat. And now you can see here, we're going to lose government progress, but we don't actually have any, so we don't lose any. The Shadow Kingdom event has fired. Do not care. They can leave. It literally doesn't matter to me at all. Nice event here. I think I'm actually going to go 2 for the price of 1, get up to 2 stab. Just having high stability is just so nice. Anytime you get a pending event like that and you can like maybe spend a little bit more to get a more effective stab, I think it's always a good call in my opinion. So we can attack these guys anytime we want. The coalition is there, but realistically we're okay to at least take Nassau, which is all I really need. Working our way down through this here, I think we'll be okay eventually. We're gonna have to touch up some borders, get Renaissance, but honestly, all things considered, we're not doing too bad. And we can't form the Rhineland until Tech 10, so honestly, it doesn't matter. We just need Oberhessen, and then we need Frankfurt, which we can get easy enough. We need Cleve, which we can get easy enough. So those 3 are honestly gonna be able to get kind of knocked out, boom, boom, boom. These guys are in my coalition though, but as soon as they're not, we'll be able to attack them. I can get these guys to break my royal marriage. If you don't know, if they have at least -50, they'll consider it. And I have them at -100, and hopefully they'll break off that royal marriage. I don't want to lose a stab by attacking them. That seems a little foolish. Württemberg has declared war on mines, so it looks like we've got a war going on over here. I don't think it's going to go well for Württemberg. They are my coalition, so I can't do anything about them, and I don't have a claim. So it is what it is. Oh, and they left the coalition, so I could easily attack them right now, actually, if I had a claim. Well, we are well ahead of time on technology here, so let's go ahead, develop our capital a few times here, and see if we can maybe get one step closer to the Renaissance. And I would love to get 30 dev. That way we can get ticking up here on getting some of these age objectives. I think we just have to eat the stab hit. These guys are just being they're being incredibly annoying about this. I can take Nassau fairly easily. It's fairly low development as well. I might be able to sneak Oberhessen, but I can't co-belligerent them because they're in the coalition. So I think this is going to be the best I'm going to be able to do, but I think we should be able to sweep it pretty easy. They do have that 3-star general, a 6352. Wow. All right. Well, we'll run it live and see how things go. And we stack wipe them. Easy enough. Everyone in the war has had their armies wiped out, so what you can do is just turn off your forts. No need to pay for them. You don't have anything going on that you need to defend against. So let's separate piece Dortmund out for trade steering and all of their money. Of course, war reps is super, super powerful. Now, I would love to take these 2 provinces. AE is pretty limiting, but to be honest with you, if we were to just go a little bit, let a little bit of decay go by, we can probably swing it. We're going to have to eat a bit of war exhaustion from letting it go all the way to the end of the year, but I think it is probably worth the wait. Plus, we can do some looting. Why not? Much more reasonable. If we go 1 more year, can't have Austria joining. That's the issue. That is the issue. Yeah, vassalization's out of the question. So I suppose we'll just take their money, separate piece them. That is fine. That means we have a short-ish truce, and then we'll wait a day. And then what we can do, oh my gosh, what is this? Goodness gracious, it's a terrible event. Anyways, this is a no coalition. We'll be able to transfer trade power, take all their money, all that stuff. That gives us 1 more province here. And then we do have claims on these guys, so we'll be able to come back for them later. The fact that they weren't co-belligerent made it way more expensive to take that land. So understandable, definitely understandable. And then Nassau gets annexed by Munster like 2 months later. It happens. Yeah, we can attack these guys whenever we want to, and we may be able to get Burgundy in on the war. They have some debt. If they didn't, they would join. We could promise Brunswick some land and maybe give them like some land from Hesse here. That is definitely an option. We'll hold off on it for now. Make sure that we have a military tech advantage and, you know, that we're not going to be fighting any rebels. Should be fine. We are now debt free, which feels very good. Another free stability. Might as well. Puts us behind on admin tech, but I mean, who really cares that much? Not me. We're finally over 30, but I think I'm just going to sell this. That way I can embrace the institution. The money right now means much more than the money later. Keeps us ahead of time on Miltech, keeps us competitive. If you take a look here, you can see we are doing okay on Miltech. We're on 6. Most other people are only on 5. And for some reason, these guys are on 4 because England is very behind on tech. Very behind. I could get a humiliate war off or show strength. That'd be really nice. I could just call in my friends and let them roll them for me. Plus I can separate piece people out and take their money. Let's go ahead and do that. Oh, offer knowledge sharing. Thank you, Poland. Bankroll me, baby. And Bohemia declared their independence war. Might actually be good for us. We might be able to find a good friend over there, a nice strong one. And we'll just be separate piecing everyone out to take all their money and all that stuff. Easy enough. And that is a juicy show strength, 20 prestige, which is nice for us, as well as 100 of each monarch power, 300. And then all is well with that. That also gives us the age objective here. It didn't used to. It does now. And we are now well on our way to a golden era. Once we get the Renaissance in all of our provinces, we will be able to do that. It'll be very useful. Since we've got some money coming in, we might as well build some buildings, help us kind of get that economy built up. Oh, hello there. Well, hello there. We have a Burgundian personal union. They're very disloyal. I reckon we could probably keep them loyal, though, if we really wanted to. I think we have to just abandon the claims, right? That's what makes the most amount of sense. They're really disloyal, though. I don't think we're going to be able to keep them unless they give up the lowland independence. So let's just go ahead and actually say that. We'll support that. That'll be fine. More princes for the HRE, I suppose. Whatever. Get our trust up with them. I think that helps with Liberty Desire. Maybe not. I don't know. So the Emperor has demanded the Low Countries, and honestly, it's probably for the best. We get to keep them as a personal union. They will be not nearly as rambunctious, so to say, and so we get a strong subject. They're still going to have some development. We can possibly get some of it back if we really wanted to, but for now, not too stressed about it. A free subject is a free subject. I will happily take it. We'll go with expanded royal court for that extra government reform progress growth. It's really nice to take it early on. We now have the Renaissance embraced, and we have, an advisor, I guess. So let's go ahead and get a 75% cheaper stab cost advisor and the emergence of the Renaissance in the Palatinate, which will give us patrons of the arts for, what is this, 30 years, giving us some prestige, or a town hall in Heidelberg. Well, a town hall will not be useful, so the prestige will be 0.3 ducats a month for a level 1 guy. That's pretty good. Oh, first idea group. That's a tough one. Considering the fact that we're going to be playing as the Rhineland, I think infrastructure is the way. The reason being is that they get pretty good production bonuses, and I think it will be playing to our benefit if we do that. And we're also going to want to switch over to an admin focus. That way we can power through that idea group and not fall behind on our tech, which we already are a little bit. Well, this would be a good opportunity to get another show strength off if we call in Poland and Brunswick and Würzburg. So I say we go ahead and do it. Should be a pretty straightforward war, and we can get a lot of money from big guys like this. I'm happy to do that. We could also start our golden era, as I had mentioned before, and I'm really tempted to do it. The extra cost is going to help us get caught up on tech, work through our idea groups. Earlier you take it, you kind of start snowballing. At least that's a good argument for it, in my opinion. Let's go ahead and go with war taxes, start our golden era, turn on those war taxes, and get to work on snowballing. We also have completed whatever this mission is that will give us a university, which is pretty cool. I'm a big fan of that, as well as institution spread in Heidelberg and 5 innovativeness. I'm very, very much okay with that. And we might as well just loot the crap out of these guys. Who cares? It's money for me and it's hurting them in the long term, so I'm fine with it. Aachen will get the usual treatment. And just like that, another show strength on a Bavarian nation, this time Bavaria itself, which is pretty good. Get caught up on tech, get ready to start queuing up our next one, which I'm not really sure what our second idea group will be. Could definitely make an argument for something like quality. Though aristocratic gives even more dev cost, as well as gov cap and autonomy change, aristocratic might be the move. I'm open to it. Either way, it is time to do some conquest. So let's go ahead and get started on that. We'll go for Oberhessen, and then I need to make sure that I loop around and get into that province before they do. That way I can ensure that I get the occupation. And just like that, they don't have any armies left, so we can turn our forts and our armies off. Easy enough. Build up some more buildings. Make sure we are using our finances that we have coming in to snowball. The snowball is very important. Now, Berg, I actually think would be smart to just white peace, because what I can do is I can come back and attack them. They have 2 provinces that I have claims on, and I will take them easily in the next war. Mines doesn't really matter a whole lot to me. I think I'll just piece them out and take all of their money. Same with Goslar. And just like that, I can annex these guys if I were to want to, or I could possibly give it to another nation, but I feel like they're probably not going to want it. So in that, let's just go ahead and take all of their money. Why not? We can also get innovativeness for Miltech. If I wait until the new year, I will be able to get it for actually below base cost. Well, that's pretty good. I will happily pay less than base cost, which is 600, to get innovativeness for a technology and be ahead of time on it. That's pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and break off this alliance. We're going to need to do it eventually, so we might as well do it, because I am going to need to take all 3 of these provinces, which I have claims on, and they are a subject of Würzburg. So all 3 provinces in one war. Be expensive, but we can do it. 12 years ahead of time on Diplo, giving us 20% trade efficiency, and we're about to be 20% production efficiency as well for being ahead on admin. So that's good. And then we're going to start working down this and start stacking up some dev cost modifiers so we can dev to the moon as the Rhineland. And let's go with aristocratic for our second idea. We are well ahead of time, and we can actually start working through this, getting 15% cab compatibility right now, which we have 2, and we have 3 cab actually. So we should be able to get some stack and wiping going on very quickly. Truce is up here in October. We will attack and we will roll them. The Duchess of Burgundy has died, and we have inherited them for free, which is pretty cool. I will happily do that. I will happily also not have any of those ships because I don't care about them, but we can state it all up. I could also concentrate a bit, which I think is probably fine. We will core you up, and all of that land is just free. So we just get all that for free. We also get this Pfalzer wine, which will give us trade efficiency for 30 years, which is really good, as well as a decent bit of money from a production from wine, and then some prestige, which is always going to be helpful for us. Get a workshop over here and develop it a few times. We can get some more money as well as production in that province for a while, which is pretty good. I will happily do that. How many times have I developed it so far? A couple. So let's go ahead and do that. A little bit of production dev is probably actually better because it allows us to make sure that we are getting that iron, and then get a production building there, and then we will get that one going shortly. Truce is up. Brunswick will help us. Let's go ahead and get started on that. So here we go. Go on in. Should be able to do a little bit of stack and wiping and get them out of here very quickly. And there we go. Free money, as well as production efficiency and goods produced in that province for the rest of the game, which is that's pretty dang solid. It's going to make us a good chunk of cash. I could probably go for emperorship if I really wanted to. I just don't really care to. Honestly, I feel like it's kind of a low waste of time. The usual stuff, all their money. Very good. Let's go ahead and piece these guys out for the usual stuff. And I need to have either Aachen or Frankfurt. I don't know if I'm going to be able to take Aachen in this war because of coalition, but I think this is actually reasonable. And if I wait until the end of the year, Rothenburg and Friesland shouldn't be able to join, and I think we can probably manage that. And we might as well give this province over there to them. They've been a good friend of mine. It's fine with me. So we'll core that all up. I think that is totally reasonable. I also think we will sell some titles and seize some land. That will give us lots of money. And now here we've got Unite the Rhineland, giving us some admin mana, which is nice, as well as a permanent claim on a bunch more land that we're going to inevitably need to conquer. Let's go ahead and pick up a friend over here. They are not rival to Poland, so I think that's actually a good idea for us. Coalition is there, but it's really not looking that bad. Austria, I'm not really too fussed about because they're getting bonked. A support independence from Muscovy, you say? Because Muscovy is a junior partner of Austria. I don't think that's anything I want to get involved in, but that is pretty funny nonetheless. And here is our out. We will attack Liège, which will call in Cleves, who is also in our coalition. So this should be totally fine, allowing us to annex them for a bit of AE, but realistically, it won't be enough to actually matter. At least I don't think it will. A couple of value cannons here, one for each siege, unlocking some advisor costs. Very nice. Oh, that AE is so freaking bad. Oh, it's so bad. All right, we're gonna have to sit on it for a little bit. Yeah, I need it. If I wait at least 2 years, then everybody down through like Constance and Liège won't be able to join. So I think it's worth it. Maybe even Würzburg and Ansbach. I think it's actually worth just take this improve relations guy as well. We'll do it at least for the yearly tick. It's probably smart. War exhaustion is going up pretty dang fast, but I don't think it'll be that big of a deal. Yeah, and everybody hates me, so there's not really any point in even improving relations. They're all going to join if they can. It's still pretty dang bad, but I don't think I can afford to wait 1 more year. So I think we're just going to do this. I think that this is reasonable. It's going to be painful, but I think reasonable. I will also make sure that we transfer trade power. And that should, at Admin Tech 10, allow us to form the Rhenish Empire once we have that core, which is really what this is all about. And I think it is time that we start looking for bigger friends, because this coalition will certainly grow. And as I'm trying to improve with them, they announce me as a rival. You'll have that. Yeah, realistically, this coalition is not that bad. It's a bunch of small nations. And if I can build up my force limit as well as keeping a big, strong Poland as a friend, I'm not worried about it at all. It's honestly fine. Ooh, Hanover decided they did not want to be my friend anymore. Yikes. Let's make sure we're keeping our trust nice and high with our friends over here in Poland. We have a 1-4-3 with a 5-2-1 air. Not the best, but I think we'll allow it. I think we're going to get rid of our mercs and get started on some drilling. Definitely want to get our professionalism up sooner rather than later, and you can drill in the HRE plenty. There's nothing really stopping you except for finances, and at this point, our finances are very solid. It will be my friend again. Very good. Means I don't lose all my favors with them. Thank goodness. Looking good on technology. I think that will keep us mostly safe, and we are only 2 admin techs away from forming the Rhineland. Well, looks like we could make some friends on the diplomatic subjugation front, so why don't we just do it? There's no reason not to, in my opinion. There we go. Luxembourg and Provence have joined us. We're working through our ideas, and we're very close to getting 5% tech cost, as well as just kind of sitting here deving up our lands. I mean, we've already done a bit of development. You can see colonialism is also here. So I'm kind of waiting until I get through this 10% dev cost, and then I'm going to develop it in mines. That's the plan. Let's go ahead and go with some sustained discipline here for some drill gain and regiment drill loss. If we're drilling, we might as well use it. So I think we can have Brunswick break their alliance with Würzburg, and then I should be able to attack them without Brunswick coming in. They will call in Frankfurt, Cologne, and Ulm. I don't care. I have Poland, and I will probably full annex them. Probably. We'll see how things go with that. Also, what an absolute stud our ruler is as a leader. That's kind of crazy. There we go. We got that done. I would like to get caught up on tech, but I think it's going to be better for us to just develop this. It's very, very cheap, and we should probably do that. Also get some autonomy change. Why not? Got a couple of people to be piecing out. Of course, we will take all of their money. That is a given. Cologne, same thing. Frankfurt, same thing. All of the trade. And how much can I take? That is the question. We can take all of it, and we shall. Looks like this may be my chance to get to war with a couple more people and touch up our lands, finally finishing this mission here, which will give us some decent bonuses. And this should allow us to develop colonialism, which is great. We can turn off that edict, put this one on to institution spread. It should spread very quickly into our capital. We'll be able to embrace it for quite a big discount, and then we can sell it, of course, to our friends over there. That will be good. And then we will be able to start rocking through technologies here and hopefully being able to form the Rhineland. While we're waiting, might as well go to war. We can call in our friends, and I certainly shall. We will immediately look to get some wipes off on the enemies, and make them pay. For what? I'm not really particularly sure, but we will make them pay nonetheless. Also, once you see it, you can't unsee it. Look at the shape of Thuringia. Just like take a second, look at this nation. What do you see when you look at Thuringia? You got to let me know. Lots of money and trade power from them. Love to see it. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to separate piece out Ansbach. We'll come back for them later. They are in our coalition for now, but once we white peace them, they will no longer be in our coalition because you can't be in a coalition with somebody you have a truce with. We will take this, which will be fine for our coalition. That will allow us to get this mission here, giving us some mill stuff, as well as more claims and this glorious restoration of union on these boys. Now, I need to hopefully think about pushing it. Looks like, oh, they have a different dynasty. Ah, well, you live and you learn, no big deal. Our guy is dead. Long live our guy. A reformist is pretty solid. I'm happy with that. Oh, okay. So Poland wants us to take a Lenkoronsky or whatever. I don't, sure. I guess. I mean, it's an heir for us. It's a 053, not the best, but that's okay, I suppose. We can probably see if we can get our heir on their dynasty as well. We're at 116% reform desire, and it is 1519, and we still don't have any reformation. So we'll see how things go with that. Not really sure if I want to join it or not. Haven't put a whole lot of thought into it. Maybe I will. Regardless, it is admin tech 10, so it is time to click the button and become the Rhineland, which is pretty cool. It's a nice gray color. We've got a nice river flag over here. And of course, we will go with our new ideas. We do lose our tech discount, but we instead get provincial trade power, which is pretty solid. We get some Diplo rep, idea cost, fort defense, fire damage, as well as national manpower, very solid construction cost, goods produced 15%, legitimacy and corruption reduction, as well as more dev cost and regiment cost, with our finisher being gov capacity. Now, we also unlock a much larger mission tree. So let's take a look. The Prelude to Brilliance is going to give us an industrialist estate, giving us some money as well. So we'll take a look at that industrialist estate. I don't seem to have them just yet. Maybe I need to let it go a month. But either way, we have Grow the Steel Industry, which is to have some provinces devved up over there. And completed by alliance or owning the Iron Province, which we do, we will gain some mana, and we will get 30 years of local production efficiency over there, which is solid. Looks like I didn't get that admin mana, so I think it maybe was... Did it give me the Diplo? I don't actually even know, I'll be honest. Either way, we get some this one here, which is going to allow us to get more mill mana, as well as a level 3 reformer for 60% off, which I will happily take. Where are you? Right here. Very solid. And then we're going to have to take a look through some of these other missions, but I know that we get to play very big, and we're already quite tall, to be honest with you. I'd be very surprised if we're not that far off from great power status. Once we annex a couple more guys, we're going to be getting there. As far as our next idea group goes, we can kind of do whatever we want. Espionage is always a good shout because we are in the Federation, in the HRE, and that aggressive expansion impact is solid. I think we're going to go ahead and go with it. As far as policies go, you can see here with the infrastructure, we get more spy network and envoy travel time, which is fine. And aristocratic gives more cav combat ability, which is pretty good. Always nice to have. Oh, pretty cool. We can abolish serfdom. 10% of the development in provinces with livestock, wool, grain, or wine will be transferred to those that do not. Sounds good. Let's do some industrialization. And here are my industrialists. So here, let's take a look. We can get some dev costs based on their crown land. We can get extended workers' rights. We can go and allow private armies, hurting our manpower, but getting lots of loyalty with them. We can just give them loans and lose money. Construction cost is solid, but it hurts loyalty. This is just the one to get them some loyalty. So let's go ahead and go with that. Add a manufactory to a random owned province. Production efficiency as state cost. Let's go ahead and go with that one as well. Okay, cool. We get goods produced from them. And so if we get 15 on top of that, and then they're nice and loyal, we're going to get some very solid goods produced bonuses. This is going to be good. There it is. The Protestant Reformation is upon us. Now, I do think we'll probably join it. We might as well join it. Let's go ahead and just join it. We can also become Defender of the Faith if we really wanted to. It doesn't really matter a whole lot to me. We've also got a new religion, which will give us tolerance to the true faith, as well as missionary strength versus heretics. I'll take that. Anything to help us get stuff converted quickly. I'm going to go ahead and go with Defender of the Faith right now, right off the bat. That way we can get stuff converted, and our center of reformation will be more useful because then it will start converting other people around us, as well as having them spread out. I don't know why it didn't spawn in Heidelberg. It spawned over here, but either way, that's fine. We've got whatever this German word is here, giving us some admin mana, and every province of the Rhenish culture will have its autonomy set to the lowest possible value. Very nice. Technocratic support here, which is from having some advisors employed rather, give us some base tech, some base production, as well as some innovativeness, which is nice. I love having innovativeness. And a nice spread. Our subject over here in Provence has embraced the Protestant Reformation as well, which means a lot of this stuff over here is going to start getting converted, and we're going to see a pretty solid Reformation, I think. After a bit of investment into Nassau here, we can appropriate Kopfer, giving us some dev cost and some goods produced over here in our copper province. Pretty good. And with this first idea here, we get 15% goods produced, which is going to give us all the more income from that production, which is it's pretty solid. It's pretty solid. We're actually making the Rhineland a very solid trade node, despite it being a very bad trade node. We also built a courthouse in Heidelberg, giving us Bibliotheca Palatina, which will give us some growth of institution in our capital for the rest of the game, which is just solid. It appears we can also either choose to get some mana and idea cost for the next 15 years, or we can go for the rest of the game and get missionary strength as well as church power. But if a Catholic country occupies Heidelberg, the province modifier will be removed. I think we're going to go ahead and go with this one because I would love to buff my brothers in the faith, and hopefully there will be more eventually. I suppose I could just attack into my coalition here. I really just want Westphalen, but also allow me to annex Dortmund without having to go through the Emperor. Real big on States General. Let's just go with it and get ourselves a new elected candidate here. We'll go with the monarchist. It's fine. Yeah, I'm getting sick of this coalition, so I'm just going to attack them. Screw them. I want the land. I want Westphalen. I'll take it. And this war is actually a great opportunity to start enforcing our religion on some people, because why not? It's the pious thing to do after all. I think this is honestly just fine. We'll also switch out all of their religions, and that is fine with me. 2 more provinces in the bag. And we have finally unlocked manufactories for textiles. So we need to be pushing up to 10. That will get us this mission right here to adopt manufacturing, or however that is pronounced, which will give us permanent production efficiency as well as Grand Bronze Bell, Gross Artesius Schlo. I don't know how you pronounce any of these words, and some decisions. So that'll be pretty cool to check out. And we also have a new emperor who is Bohemia. A very strong and very scary Bohemia, if I'm being honest. Might be a good opportunity to get to war with them, but they would call in their friends of France. So yeah, we got some time. We're gonna have to worry through this. I think this is a good call in order to get back to war and avoid our coalition. It also will allow us to beat up on Bavaria, who we could humiliate, which would get us some PP. That would be a nice thing to do there. We could just attack these guys directly and humiliate them. I do also have claims on them. I don't think we're going to be able to take a whole lot of land. We have gotten our idea. So we've got this as well as our religious church power thing here to lower that. So 25% is pretty sizable. However, I think annexing these smaller guys is going to be important. We're going to go ahead and do this. I'll probably try to annex mines as well if I can. And then we're going to humiliate Bavaria. I'll call in Poland because why not? And here we go. During the war, get a couple of modifiers there. And we also will get admin mana as well as construct a blast furnace decision. Build a blast furnace, a building that increases trade value by 3.0 at a substantial cost. Okay, that is 1,000 ducats. That's quite the cost here. This one is 2,000, but it will allow us to gain some scaling modifiers by the looks of it. We've also got this one here, which will give us legitimacy. And then this one here will give us state maintenance cost. I'm not sure if I'm going to do any of those, but very cool. Either way, cool mechanics. Get these guys out. Lots of money for me, quite a bit for me specifically, as well as a humiliate, getting us big PP, which is always nice to have. I will annex these guys separately. That way I can get at least a year's worth of, coalition ticking down. Obviously we want to avoid it, so we will do our best to do that. Other than that, we will just convert people, because why wouldn't we? We definitely want to convert people. Thuringia will be forced religion on 100% war score exactly, and that is a very good looking Protestant world. I'm a big fan of that. And of course, the free city of Goslar shall also become our brothers of the faith. Very good. The coalition returns, but this is its peak. I'm not worried about it.
So we have this league event here, not that league, but a different league, the Schmoldkaldic League, apparently. We could join. I don't really know exactly what it does, but if it means we can get some smoke, then I'm here. I'm going to accept. After developing Aachen and Westfalen here, we get a precursor to a revolution, the event, the coal industry. So we can get coal in those provinces, as well as cut the coal value, which is trading and coal bonus will be disabled until enlightenment. Okay. Or we can just get dev cost in those provinces. So here's the thing. Coal is actually not worth a lot with this modifier, but it's still worth quite a bit more. So I think we're going to go ahead and we are going to do that. I assume it's a local modifier for, yeah, right here, 40%. Still really good. Still going to make us a lot of money. Oh, here we go. Okay, it looks like this not league war has kicked off. My armies are drilling, so we got to be mindful of that. They are allied to France, so if they call them in, then we could be in a little bit of trouble, but I think we're going to be okay. Let's let our morale tick up here. Just need to keep an eye on and see if France joins. If France doesn't join, it's honestly Jover already. I'm not stressed at all about it. If France does join, then it can become a little scary, but I think we're okay for now. It just shows superiority as well. So if we can run around and find some of their smaller armies to kill off, all the better. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think it's going to work out for them. They're getting smashed. I could do whatever I want with this war. I could just take a lot of money. Could bankrupt the emperor. Sure. I got all the money for myself. And they're already weakened enough that the league is probably going to win even without me. So it's a win-win. And it looks like the league won without us. Well, with us, but without us. And we get tolerance of the true faith and missionary strength versus heretics. I don't know if that's a modifier or what. It does look like we're also trading in coal, even though it says we're not supposed to. So I don't know what that's about. The Bible translated. So it looks like we're going to be seeing Reformation expanding, right? That is the Reformed event. Either that or it happened already. It looks like it happened already. Maybe I'm just being weird. I don't know. Regardless, developing Niederhessen over here will give us Kassler Optics, which will give us an event, a decision rather, and also get some trade value in that province, which is always really nice. Trade value is a great modifier to have. And that decision, when we are at peace, will allow us to get a trading partner. So hopefully we'll be at peace before too long. Well, how about another one either way? We will get an event and we will gain a core on Oberpfalz, which I don't know where that is, but I assume I already had a core on it. So yeah, I don't know what that is. Either way, we can now produce copper there or get some money, and it's wool. So I think copper is much better. And since we're developing, what about Moselle Thrives, giving us a new industry in the Moselle Valley, giving us some trade value in that every own province of ours in the forest or woods terrain gets trade value, or we can go ahead and upgrade manufacturing in these provinces. And these tooltips are so long. Let's go ahead and just go with the trade value. That sounds good. It's given us quite a bit of trade value actually, and our trade income will be going up because of that. Despite having an absolute garbage trade node, we are doing very, very good right now. How about we monopolize some German tin as well, going ahead and getting local dev cost in this province for the rest of the game. Sounds good. I think we're just going to have to accept the fact that we got to eat some AE. We need to annex Dortmund for this next mission, which it requires us to have quite a bit of development in this area. We're going to need it. They are allied to these guys, so I could attack when our truce is up here in just a few months. Maybe take this land, but more importantly, take Dortmund. As a non-co-belligerent, it's going to be more expensive, but I think it might be my only opportunity. We are now leading the faithful, which will give us tolerance to the true faith and war score cost versus other religions for the rest of the game. Very powerful modifiers. AE is moderately reasonable. If we just wait until the end of the year, we'll probably be able to avoid Strasbourg, maybe Magdeburg from joining, which would be great. So we might as well just separate piece everyone else out, make sure that we are maximizing our truce timers. Matter of fact, I'm actually just going to go ahead and annex these guys separately, wait some time before annexing these guys. I think that is the move. We also have religion des Rhinelands here, giving us 50 opinion with everybody of our religion within our culture group, which is Germanic, which is a big culture group, as well as religious unity, which is fine. It puts us well over 100%. We were at 110, so I think we're good. It might be bad, but I think we'll be able to manage. Let's go ahead and take this peace deal, annex these guys, take their money. And our coalition is kind of bad, but I think it should tick down here on the monthly tick Yeah, this is really not that bad. This is honestly not bad at all. So let's see what this find a vendor of optics does. We could get some money from Venice, money from Spain, or money from the Ottomans. Ottomans will give us morale of armies. We will get morale of navies from Spain, and Venice will get morale of navies as well. The Ottomans will pay the most, so let's go ahead and go with the Ottomans. We got some Jewish zealots over here in Rothenburg. Very funny. I think they will definitely convert them, and then their state religion will switch to Jewish, which is pretty funny. It's pretty good. Hey, there we go. Spawning the printing press. Lots of mana for us, which is great, because I'm currently in the process of doing lots of development, so that way we can start working through the rest of this mission here. And after a very painful round of development, we've got this one here, which is going to give us a center of trade in Dortmund. It will rename Cleve to Duisburg, and then Berg will be renamed to Dusseldorf with some goofy character corruption going on there. We will get the Ruhr Valley, which will give us local dev cost in the provinces that I literally just dev'd a crazy amount. So that's fine, but 25% local goods produced, which is insane. We also have this one here, which will give us some other bonuses, land fire damage for the rest of the game, as well as some mill mana, which is always appreciated. Now we need to start working through these ones. The agriculture revolution. We need to own a livestock province and have a manufactory. We can do that. We need to own a gold province with at least 30 dev. We can probably do that. And shake the ground 15 blast furnaces. So we're going to have to look into that. Let's go ahead and get involved in another major war, this time hopefully going to annex these boys over here in Frankfurt. We'll see how that goes. They are they're just in our lands. There's nothing they can do to get out, so we'll wipe them out and then hopefully get over here, take Ravensburg as well. Ooh, the international book market upping the price of paper and giving us an innovativeness, as well as changing Onsenbrook to paper. That's pretty solid. Paper is a very good trade good, so I'll happily take it. We have benefits of the print, getting us some bonuses here. We can either go with idea cost, institution spread, we can go with manpower, or we can go with tax. Let's go with tax. A little bit more money is fine. We also get fine German print, which is giving us trade value modifier in most developed paper province, giving institution growth as well as that. So what is our most developed paper province? Probably mines, right? Mines? I think it's mines. And then the faith and the press. We'll get another event here, which will give us missionary strength versus heretics or tolerances of heretics and religious unity. I think we'll just go with religious unity. That way we can guarantee that we basically never have any problems ever, no matter what. We won't even get a coalition. Let's see here. Can I take more? No, I could maybe. Nah, it's fine. We'll just take what we have claims on. No need to bite off more than we need. You know what? This may actually be a good opportunity to get the land that I'm trying to get. So I need to get a province with livestock on it for a mission here. This will allow me to go to war with the Bohemia, with the Emperor. They're not the Emperor anymore, but with Bohemia calling in these guys. And if I just take these two provinces, the peace deal would be quite cheap. I think this is probably the move. I'm going to go ahead, get my forts ready and get my army maintenance turned up, and hopefully we can make that happen. That would be perfect. It really is that simple. I get to attack my massive coalition, inflict a ton of casualties on them, occupy a couple of provinces, and I get to take whatever I want. Ah, that is so good. I love that. Next idea group, I think we're going to go with defensive. I think it's just solid. We're playing defensively and we're doing a lot of development. Tall play leans well into that defensive sort of mindset, I think. Ooh, more dev cost and more goods produced. Say less. Producing jewelry by deving this Egger province over here. Advanced faceting, which will give us gems in that province in exchange for, wow, okay, that sounds very good. I mean, I don't need gold income. We could take it, but I think the gems is great, especially if we want to lean into that trade. Though it is in the wrong node, we're still steering quite a bit of that value into our home node, which is more and more blast furnaces that we can be building, and we will keep on building them. Now, leather processing here. Let's take a look and see. We can get some local production efficiency and trade value in Coburg, and every province that produces livestock will get more goods produced, which is wonderful. Kickstarting that agricultural revolution. Now we're just waiting on our blast furnaces, and we're going to be incredibly close to getting this here. Manufactories is not going to be seen in this run, but you know, you can do it in yours. It's definitely going to be worth it, the wait, in my opinion. Shake the ground, allowing us to build more blast furnaces and gain a little bit of money here. Like I said, we're not going to be doing any manufactories here, but we could definitely get that development and growing industrial power will be removed from Rhineland, and we will get industrial center of Europe, giving us some very solid permanent bonuses for the rest of the game. This would be a really good one to end on for sure. But my friends, without trade ideas in a very, very garbage trade node like the Rhineland, we are the #2 income in the world, only 20 some total income behind the Ottomans, ahead of Venice and ahead of Spain, ahead of England, Portugal, Naples for some reason doing really well, and France, Russia. We are so rich. We are doing so good. And honestly, I've just been speed 5ing for the last 50 years or so, just developing stuff. And take a look at that development map mode. The Rhineland, you can see from space, especially the Ruhr Valley. If you guys are interested in checking out the mod, it's going to be linked in the description below. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you leave a like on the video, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. You are missing out on a ton of content if you're not already subscribed. If you made it all the way to the end of the video, I want to tell you from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate you, and I hope you have an absolutely fantastic day.
Special thanks to Kaiser Dar of Acadia, Sheol, Gamus23, Ian Powell, Cannon Fodder, Josh Kopczynski, Agent Rhino, Blonde Damon, Isaiah, Rover, Bubba J, Saranska, Ricardo, Cobalt, Rex, Nathan Albright, and many more.